Up, we have got Pinterest predicts. So this is the 2024 trend report from Pinterest. So this is all of the key things that Pinterest think are going to be trending in the year of 2024. So we're going to run through them all, and I'm going to look at how these could affect your shop. Now, keep in mind that some things will be more relevant to you than others. So some parts of this of these trends will not be relevant for your shop. Some parts will be very relevant, and some parts we can take a little bit with a pinch of salt and say, okay, well, we know that, this is how customers shop and this is how customers are influenced, so this is how they might influence your shop. So as ever, you don't want to kind of try and cram all of these trends into your shop, because not everything will be relevant, but we'll pick out the ones that are. And as I say, everybody's shop will be different, and that is the beauty of Etsy, and that is why people come to Etsy, because everybody has something different to offer. So let's start with knockout workouts. Now, I've not looked at these trends properly yet, so I don't know what any of them are yet, so we're going to be doing this together. So the ultimate 2024 stress reliever, punching the air, combat sports such as karate, kickboxing and jiu-jitsu as their daily dose of me time, and they'll feel stronger, calmer and more empowered because of it. So for me, straight away, I'm taking this as, obviously this is a lifestyle trend, and this is at a glance maybe something that you would think, okay, this isn't relevant for my shop. However, the things I'm taking for this are feeling stronger, calmer and more empowered. So this is a mindset that people are looking to achieve in 2024. We are seeing millennials and Gen Z being mentioned here. So this is the type of people who are looking into this kind of trend and are leaning into it and are more likely to be influenced by it. And then we have obviously the sports themselves. So this would be relevant for service providers who are, maybe focusing on health and wellness. This is definitely a trend that would be interesting there. But I also see this coming through in things like home decor. So maybe things like prints and gifting, cards, gifting in terms of wall art and things like that. So there is some elements of this that I would take for Etsy shop owners in terms of physical products, but mainly this is going to be centered around mindset. It's going to be centered about health and wellness, and it's going to be centered around things like feeling stronger, calmer and more empowered, and be more of a service. But I would think that maybe if your type of customer is the kind of customer that will be influenced by this, then it might be something you might want to consider in things like card making and gifting and prints and wall art, that kind of thing. So that's my first take on the first trend. Trend number 2, cute coins. It's time to make a bank statement. In 2024, Gen Z and millennials will take their money and make it a little cuter. So credit card makeovers, piggy banks and stickers. So credit card stickers, really interesting. Ceramic piggy banks, teddy banks, piggy bank design and aesthetic piggy bank. So piggy bank is a theme, right? Okay, so anyone in the ceramics world, anyone in the handcrafted kind of products in that sphere kind of world, that's interesting. Stickers is an interesting one. So if you are somebody who creates stickers for like laptops and things, it sounds like people are going to be looking into this as more in terms of sticking stickers on their credit cards, right? So let's have a look at the trend itself. Okay, so within this trend, we are finding things like, so these look like they are like covers for your credit card, maybe. Yeah, so yeah, the stickers themselves. I just saw something interesting then. If I can get back, let me bring this down. These kind of so the budget book. So this reminded me of, it's the Mean Girls Burn book, right? So this is an Etsy product as well. So not only is this a kind of making like your credit card and your piggy bank a little bit cuter, but actually budgeting in general. Okay, so this is going to then lean into the planner niche. So anyone who is in the planner industry and the planner niche, and even the wider kind of, not just budgeting planners, but wider planners. If you sell sort of wedding planners, then potentially wedding budgeting planners is going to come through here. But it's this kind of styled, more less functional and more aesthetically pleasing. What else have we got here? So like coin pouches, again planners. Money wallets. So this was a huge trend back in a couple of years ago on Etsy. So the actual money wallets themselves, printables for those money wallets, printable stickers, actual stickers, card holders. So it's all around money and money management, right? So this is the perfect example of how a trend on the surface looks like it is very specifically, it's stickers for credit cards and it's piggy banks, but actually when you dive into it, it spans a lot of different trends, right? Even just things like this. So like this is obviously an Instagram post around, affirmations around money. So if money is something that you can talk about, then within your industry, then this is a very interesting trend here. So savings challenge principles, that's a really interesting one for me. Being like, ramen money. So obviously ramen is quite a popular food for the younger generations who I don't know about you guys, but I know in Manchester a lot of ramen shops popped up in the last couple of years. It is a trend in itself, I guess. I know it's not a trend. It is it's a food from a specific culture, but it is very much a trend in the UK. So stickers again. I think this is a piggy bank, so like a unique kind of piggy bank. So the piggy bank's having a makeover in itself as well. More stickers, purses, wallets. So it's an interesting trend that I think could span a lot of them. And like I say, things like, so here, Emma's First Car Fund, like I mentioned before, if you are selling like wedding planners, budgeting within the wedding industry, dance shoe fund, like really interesting stuff here. So money, so these are kind of like the light boxes, money box type of things as well. So this could tie into things like travel funds, you've got affirmation stickers. So yeah, really interesting trend, that one. I think that could span a lot. Where were we? Come out of here. Okay. I'm not going to go through like that because I've not started from the start. So let's go. I'll go across. All right. Dirt flirts. Off the road again. Just can't wait to get off the road again. In 2024, boomers and Gen X will load up their 4x4s and head for the mountains, or at least look like they are. Whether you flirt with dirt or you're down to get dusty, off-roading can be an aesthetic or a lifestyle. Time to gear up and add some gravel to your travel. So, off-roading, camping, adventuring, getting into the outdoors, all very interesting. So then let's have a look at the trend, see what comes up here. So we have got this coming through in fashion, we've got this coming through in journals, we've got this coming through in home sort of accessories. We have got this coming through in drinksware, in fashion again. What is this? Candles. Amazing. So this is what I love about a trend, right? So this is how that trend has, or how somebody has a brand, and Free People this is the perfect brand for them, right? They're a very outdoorsy kind of, not outdoorsy, but they're an expensive brand, but they kind of lean into that sort of rugged kind of shabby chic look almost. It's like really expensive for clothes that quite often look like they've been worn for 100 years, right? So, but this is how I love how brands use trends in a really unique way. So on the surface, again, it's off-roading and adventure, so you're thinking camping and things like that, but this is how a brand has then used that to create candles, right? To create home decor. So this is probably quite likely, these enamel cups that were really, really popular for camping and things. People will be using them in their homes too, right? So what else is here? We have got blankets. Again, more of the enamel mugs. So print-on-demand suppliers, those enamel mugs can be used in a lot of the print-on-demand companies. So you've got analog kind of cameras, which will come through in photography as well. Pin badges, and then this is kind of, the Lake District in the UK is obviously really popular, like walking spots. So then this is another way to kind of lean into that trend if you are someone who maybe creates prints around like nature and the outdoors, looking at kind of key landmarks and that kind of thing. It's coming through in, this says it's a women's tan brown leather something, but it looks like a dog collar to me. Oh, so it's a treat pouch. So it's coming in through the pet industry here as well, right? Let's have a look what else. Lunchboxes, socks, accessories. So again, I would see this coming through in prints, in journals, in planners. I know there is people in the, very specifically, I'm thinking of one person in the Daily Sales Society who sells exactly these kind of planners and journals. So an amazing trend for you. coming through there. So journals, camping with kids is a really great way, again, that this is kind of, it's not just the off-roading and 4x4s, it's like, how do you bring that trend into something that you sell? So for example, if somebody sells journals and activity books for kids, camping with kids then brings you into that trend as well, right? So a really good example of how you use that trend to tie into your own personal brand and what you sell and what your customer wants from you. All right, let's have a look at the next one. Western Gothic. This sounds like something that would be right on my street. A new home trend in town, so specifically home decor. They're talking about here. Meet Western Goth, your soon-to-be decor obsession that will mix vintage American chic with deep, moody hues. Expect to see Gen Z and Boomers DIY in style with sultry touches such as dark fringes and even darker paints. See you soon at the Gothic-inspired saloon. I feel like I'm really drawn to this, and I'm millennial, so clearly I am older than my time, apparently, according to Pinterest here. So Western bedding, vintage Americana, country room ideas, Western mirrors, Western Gothic. So straight off the bat, again, it's kind of like giving me that dark academia vibe that was a big trend last year and the year before. So, dark moody paints, kind of what I've just done with my my room here. Dark kind of colours and then bringing in that fringing and that Western theme as well. So specifically home decor in terms of the trend itself, but then again, let's have a look at what is trending within that. So you've got fringing within accessories, within hair accessories. You have got this in home decor accessories, which is the main kind of theme. Coffee tables. And again, I could see how this would tie into candles, like the dark and moody sort of candles, and even things like, so a great marketing tool, using the candle example, would be to create a scent that it kind of evokes that feeling of the dark and moody sort of feeling, like by whatever you call it, and by the scents that you use, so like musk and sandalwood and sort of those darker, moodier, heavier scents. It can lean into that trend simply by using the scents that sound like the type of trend that you are trying to emulate, right? So fashion, again here, candles, home decor. So this kind of like cool snake bookends is something that I would absolutely buy. So then I would be taking that to think, okay, I'd have snake in the back of my mind as well as something, again here, snakes, it's something that is going to tie into this trend. So would that then kind of tie into home decor? Would it tie into wall art prints, cards, art, illustrations, like I said before, every kind of trend can usually tie in some way or another. So from this, I would be taking dark colours and motifs like snakes, snake skin, the gold comes through as well, these kind of patterns. It's all kind of on a similar theme. Fringing, so if you are in the home decor sphere, if you are in fashion, the fashion sphere, if you are in, even things like, what else could you put fringing on? I mean, I'd put it on everything. Okay, I can't think of another example, but fringing would be on the list as well. There's cowhide and cow print, and again, for me, I see that straight away and think I would be thinking of, cowhide photography. Is that a wall art print that someone would buy? The snake skin sort of print again, is that, so I know a while ago the sort of cheetah print was really, really popular, and leopard print has always been popular, obviously, but a lot of that comes from, there's a lot of things that can be said for just using that texture in the background of images, for example, as well. So for example, say you sell a jumper like this. It doesn't have the fringing on it maybe, but it's kind of sort of leaning towards that style. If you shot it with a bag with that, that snakeskin bag, or say you are creating a print and you wanted to show it, on a wall, could you have like a coaster that's made out of snakeskin background or something? Could you use some sort of level of snakeskin in the background of the photos that just kind of leans into that trend as well? So it doesn't necessarily mean that the product itself has to be, but it's that aesthetic that people are drawn to, that they then go, okay, I want that product because it's emulating that trend that I'm interested in, okay? Here, it's matches in a bottle. It's absolutely nothing to do with this trend, but because they are dark and they are shot on one of these kind of, it's got that textured mottled background that ties into that trend, suddenly you're drawn to it, right? It is not part of this trend, really, but actually you're drawn to it because of the styling of the photo. Hopefully that is all clear as well. Okay, and this is kind of ties into that dark academia trend that was really popular last year. It's kind of a move on from that, right? Okay, what is next? Melty mashups. Melt in your mouth, make it double. This trend takes, I can't say that, it's making me feel a bit ill. Treat yourself favourites and marry them to make mouth-watering mashups such as burger, quesadillas and pizza pies. Okay, yeah, so this is something that I saw a lot of this year. So tacos was the thing this year, wasn't it? It was like prawn toast tacos. It was the Big Mac taco. I don't know about you guys, but I saw a lot of this on my Instagram this year. Now, I don't know if, you know, as a millennial, I am just towards the older end of this and I'm being kind of tied in with Gen X and Boomers, but this is something that appeals to me as well. So it is a food trend on the surface, but let's have a dive in and see how we could potentially take any inspiration from this. Now, with Pinterest, you know, it's a huge recipe site, so I imagine this is going to be mainly around food and recipes, but we could see if there's anything we can take from this. So obviously, right straight away, we're getting recipe books coming up. It generally tends to be looking to me like a food trend, but then with that in itself, you know, foodie motifs have been really, really popular in like wall art, for example, and in t-shirts and on, you know, like from a lot of print and demand sellers who kind of have used that sort of cartoon-esque kind of foodie motifs. So then I would be taking, okay, is burgers going to be a big one then? Is it tacos? Is it burgers? What is it that is going to be really popular this year that I could then tie into that trend of the food motifs on, you know, apparel and decor and wall art and cards and whatever else it might be, okay? So mostly this is bringing through food recipes. It's making me a little bit hungry as well. So we will leave that trend here, but that's how I would kind of take that sort of trend itself. Okay, last one at the top here, big talk. So 2024 will be all about getting vulnerable and forging deeper connections. So searching for new conversation starters, intimate questions help couples reconnect. When it comes to making conversation, going deep is the way to go. So again, this feels like a lifestyle one, but I can see products coming through in this straight away. So things like journaling, things like conversation starters. A lot of this would be a big one for both physical products and also digital. So let's dive into the trend. Okay, so what have we got here? Disposable camera, a bit random. Yeah, so conversation starters, we have got kind of, it's this aesthetic, isn't it? It's this kind of like image aesthetic that's coming through. So like kind of that connection, sharing moments. So obviously this is more around a quote, but I would say potentially this is a sticker idea for me. So prompt cards, I think this would go really well, like I say, for digital products or physical products, but especially in terms of digital products, things like, you know, guides and like the kind of affirmation cards, like principal affirmation cards, but more around like prompts, potentially affirmation cards around things like how reminders of you know, what you have to offer to a conversation, for example. So all around creating connection. This would be also a great one for using things like quotes in other areas like t-shirts, hoodies, prints, cards, that kind of thing. So the kind of quotes that would be inspired by this trend. Okay. Oh, is it going to reload? Yeah. Okay. I'm down here to cafe course. So I have had a quick look at this one yesterday. So everything from cafe chalkboards aesthetic and coffee station decor to coffee bar styling. Your go-to brew just got a serious upgrade. Now I find this one really, really interesting because something that I didn't realise was I've actually been influenced by this one already. So I've seen, let me see if it comes up when we shop the trend, but I've seen basically a coffee shop signage. Let me just put it up here. So coffee shop sign. I'd seen these, right? I'd seen this exact image and I thought, I wonder if I could make something like that. And I started making it, right? And I've started making that as a signboard in my office that should be up in hopefully the next couple of weeks. So I didn't even realise it, but I've already been influenced by this trend. So that's really, really, really interesting to me. So this is all around, so, you know, the main kind of aesthetic is the coffee bar styling, the chalk sign ideas like they're saying here. So the signboards chalkboards, coffee station decor, cafe aesthetic. So it's all kind of home decor focused. However, if we go into it again, we have home decor, we have, you've got your coasters here. So anyone in that sphere again of creating like coasters and things like that. I know the terrazzo style was really, really popular for a long time. However, that potentially is bringing in a new trend here. So like these gold tones and more sort of sleek sort of coffee shop style. Coffee obviously itself is going to be popular. So if that is something, if you create body scrubs, coffee body scrubs would be something I would be thinking of in this. Things like storage, like here, coffee mugs. So again, the pottery element. Things like signage, and if you have, I have a bar cart, which was a big millennial trend a few years ago. I still have it. Potentially that is kind of evolving into a coffee cart, coffee station. So little kind of decor bits for this. And for example, if you sold things like, I don't know, say you sell something like this ceramic what's it called? Like a vase thing, a mini vase, right? Just by styling this on a coffee cart, if this is something that you sell, it brings you into that trend, right? And suddenly someone's going, yeah, that'd be perfect in my kitchen where I'm creating this kind of coffee corner because that's the style that I'm influenced by right now. Whereas when I bought that might have been styled on a dark and moody background and made to look like that dark academia sort of trend. And that's maybe what influenced me to buy it at that point. So it's thinking about how your products tie into that trend again. Wall art, cards, that kind of thing, absolutely definitely would be taking inspiration here. So you've got photography, coffee photography is interesting. I'd be thinking about quotes. I'd be thinking about those food motifs again. So where the pizza slice was really popular last year, the coffee mug, potentially one this year, quote art like this. All sorts of signage, definitely really interesting here. And again, things like, just bringing in things like, say, potentially if you create journals and printables, could you bring in sort of coffee motifs or elements or something like that as well? Could you put a quote on around coffee, so, for example? Next trend. I'm conscious of how long this is going to take. Make it big. Taking up space, love that for you. Beauty and baubles will get bigger, bolder and bouncier in 2024. Millennials and Gen Z will opt for oversized opulence, shopping for styles that match their fluffy hair aesthetic. Clearly I'm going to fit into this one. Sculptural jewellery and larger than life accessories will be on everyone's minds on the wish list. So this is kind of a hair and beauty trend. So let's dive in here. So we've got buns, braids, wavy perms, but then it's coming into sort of jewellery as well, which is interesting. So it's kind of almost this area that we're focusing on. Sculptural jewellery and chunky hoops. So I mean, fluffy hair and chunky hoops, it's my trend clearly. It's coming in through accessories, so even sunglasses, that chunky and bold style, hair accessories again. So this feels massively like a decor and accessories trend to me, but I would be taking some kind of inspiration in terms of things like design and illustration, in terms of kind of those bigger, bolder styles as well. One person's throwaways and another person's treat. From rescuing fabric scraps to creating recipes from leftovers, upcycling will be in for 2024. This is amazing. This is a trend that spans everyone, right? Transforming basic tees to unique to me fits with whatever snips and shreds they can find. So I straight away see that, transform basic tees to unique to me fits. If I was a fashion brand, I would be creating tutorials for my content, for social media, around how to do that, right? How to take an old t-shirt and turn it into a new design, right? It doesn't necessarily have to always, like with content creation, it doesn't always have to relate to the product you sell. It does have to relate to the product you sell. It has to be relevant, but it doesn't always have to be selling a product. Like I say, if I sold t-shirts, I would be showing how to style them in this design, in this way. I would be showing how to create those kind of upcycled shirts. And, this can be done with anything. If I sold cards, I might go, all those Christmas cards that you got, here's what I do to repurpose certain parts of it and create a new card for a loved one down the line, if that was like the kind of crafty sort of customer that I was going down the line of. I know for a fact that a lot of people in my family do that. They kind of take their cards from Christmas, they cut bits out, they rip bits out, and then they make new cards for next year, right? It's not it's something that a lot of people do. So if I was a card maker, for example, if I sold cards, then that's what I would be creating that kind of content around in my social channels. food sustainability. I'm not sure how. I think it ties into some kind of Etsy shops, but obviously it would be more around the messaging around, if you sold food products, the messaging around, you know, how you can get the most out of your the products that you're buying, what you can do with leftovers, anything like that. So scrap wood projects is interesting, start over leftover recipes, sewing patterns, so again, if I was in the space of selling sewing patterns or sewing items, crochet, anything like that, I'd be creating content about this. I would be creating potentially zero waste sewing patterns. This is obviously something that's trending. Waste materials, all of this really interesting as well. I'll have a quick look at the trend, but I think we've kind of covered most of that. So yeah, fashion, kind of how to mend and repair things. So again, if I was in the sort of knitting and crochet sphere, I'd be creating sort of ideas around this. Sewing. So the thing that's great here is if sewing is going to become a thing, and if the new generations are starting to get interested in creating their own clothes and sewing, then patterns, sewing patterns, crochet patterns, how-to guides, that kind of thing, sort of digital products there are really, really interesting as well. And with that, you have to remember that, you know, not everyone will be able to afford a sewing machine, not everyone will have the desire to want to sew, but they might still want to tie into this and lean into this trend. So I would then be taking things like, you know, this patchwork style, these kind of styles as well, the sort of made from scraps and sort of zero waste trend, and I would be creating those products as well. So not only showing you how to do it, but creating them for the people who don't want to do it, can't do it, haven't got time to do whatever reason that might be, and want to tie into the trend, but they would rather pay somebody else to do it for them, right? You've always got two types of customer in that space, the ones that want to do it themselves and the ones that want you to do it for them. So really huge opportunity here for a lot of Etsy sellers. Right. Blue Beauty. Aquamarine makeup is back. This is amazing to me. This was my favourite makeup growing up. Bolder than ever. In 2024, Gen Z and millennials will search for blue glam makeup and pastel blue eyeshadow as they find ways to incorporate this 60s staple into their modern beauty routines. The best part, this hue looks striking on all skin tones. So it's a fashion and it's a beauty trend. I can see this coming through in home decor, in wall art and that kind of thing as well. So this trend is massively around the sort of beauty trend, but I would be just considering it in terms of you know, the type of the blues coming through in design styles, because this always influenced by something else, right? So I would be taking things like metallic blue hues and thinking, okay, well, how does that apply to the products I sell? Does it apply to my ceramics? Does it apply to my wall art? Does it apply to my illustrations? Does it apply to, you know, my journal covers? Whatever it might be. Taking things like colour from the inspiration here and the sort of the metallics, the shimmers, the shines. Honestly, this is a trend I'm absolutely definitely going to be getting on board with. You know, if you kind of sell, a lot of people are starting to sell, or it's getting a lot more popular, like press-on nail art. This is a trend that would be perfect for that as well. If you sell kind of, you know, homemade makeup, anything like that. So very interesting trend again. And also, you know, thinking about things like if you sell things that don't necessarily directly tie into this, if you shoot things on a model, or you have a model holding things, or you have a mock-up of, like, you know, with a person in the background, thinking about bringing that kind of makeup in if it is something that you think will appeal to your customer. So for example, you know, somebody holding something with these blue nails, somebody in the background with this blue eyeshadow, whatever it might be, if it makes sense for your customer and it makes sense for your product, right? Just another way to think about that. Okay, bee jelly. So I've had a quick look at this one today already. So jellyfish decor. So this is all around the jellyfish motif, but it is also around the shape and the style. So if thinking about things like fashion, you've got the ruffles and the sort of trailing design. You've got the shapes here in the lamps in terms of the products, home decor products, but you've also got things like colours coming through. So you've got those blues, those metallic pinks. You have got the sort of, like, again, the shapes, you've got the motifs and the designs themselves. So actually physically having jellyfish on things like, again, principles, planners, wall art, cards, and what have you. That is definitely a trend that is going to be popular as well. So the actual jellyfish motif, it's coming through in shapes here, in earrings, in jewellery, in candlestick holders, in decor, in candles themselves, I imagine, even in shoes, in glasses. So again, a really, really perfect way that, you know, this kind of drop style, perfect way that this is not just taking it at face value and going, jellyfish don't make sense for my brand. If you create mirrors does just the simple shape of the sort of the waviness of a jellyfish just tie into this trend? It is how people are constantly exposed to this type of design. They're seeing this kind of thing everywhere. They're seeing wavy mirrors, they're seeing the sort of shimmery scrunchies, they're seeing the scrunchy bags and things like that. They're seeing the iridescent makeup and all of that kind of thing, and being influenced by this kind of style within your products, not necessarily just going, jellyfish don't make sense for me, right? You can kind of see, the shapes of a jellyfish in this kind of like bag here, in the lamp, that kind of thing as well. So again, really, really interesting one. I like this one a lot. Okie doke. Head to glow. Body care will have a major movement. Boomers and Gen Z will double down on luxury lotions, in-home spa experiences, and some serious SPF, but because skincare from the neck down just boosts their oh so important TLC. So TLC, self-care, looking after yourselves, routines, skincare routines and that kind of thing. On the surface, this is a skincare trend, but I am seeing it in journals. In my head, I'm seeing this in terms of self-care journals, skincare journals, routine journals, habit trackers, planners, anything like that. Even in terms of things like, I've seen a very prominent business influencer and businesswoman who I follow starting to talk about wellness in her courses, and actually starting to give courses on wellness, even though she is very specifically a business coach. So it's even kind of pulling through in that kind of thing as well. It is self-care, it's not going anywhere, right? And this is just another iteration of it. So let's dive into the trend. We've got body lotions, soaps, oils, scrubs, all of your skincare stuff is coming through here. We've got makeup and shimmer oils, the gua sha sort of skincare stuff, shower stuff. Let's have a look what else. And again, you're getting that kind of jellyfish colour coming through here as well. So you can see how trends are all going to influence each other, right? These pretty kind of florals. And for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, self-care, that's not relevant for me as, say, a print seller. Not really, but actually, could I sell self-care quotes, skincare quotes? Could I sell a really pretty illustration of these kind of wildflowers that looks perfect in someone's dressing room, which is where they do their skincare routine, right? So again, how you can kind of use that trend in a way that you might not think. Okay, we're about halfway through, I think, so let's keep going. Making a racket. So millennials and Gen Z will be smitten with badminton outfits, playing badminton aesthetic. Not that we're interested in what we look like more than what we do, but we'll be big into the year ahead. Racket sport is spiking on Pinterest with the force of an overhead smash. Badminton rackets, outfits, aesthetic, bags, and shoes are all trending. So again, I'm seeing this in prints, I'm seeing this in planners, I'm seeing sports and badminton journals, I'm seeing planners in terms of like routines and getting getting into better habits. I am seeing this in wall art, I am seeing this in cards, I am seeing this in like t-shirts and again those motifs, a coffee cup playing badminton. There you go, you've got two trends tied together again. And it's not necessarily, like I say, it's not necessarily that people are this trend is going on and people are thinking, I want to buy a print with badminton on it, but it's again being exposed to this trend. It's been seeing this everywhere. It's seeing it on Pinterest, it's seeing influencers wearing these badminton aesthetic outfits, it's seeing people playing it, it's talking about it, that kind of thing. And then it's going to Etsy to buy a birthday card and seeing a birthday card with a badminton, an illustration of a coffee cup playing badminton, and going, yeah, I like that card, right? Because this holder likes it. They're told they like it so many times over and over and over again by people elsewhere that are influenced by this trend, right? So again, don't take it at surface value. Phone case here, really interesting straight away. Hot water bottle, totally random. You don't need a hot water bottle where you're playing badminton, but a shuttlecock is the motif that is trending here, right? You've got the kind of motif here, like the logo. Let's play. It's not actually necessarily relevant to badminton, but it is let's play. It's a wall art print. It ties into this trend. You've got a bag with bespoke kind of bag here that kind of ties into the aesthetic trend. Pin badge, right? It's everywhere. So the shuttlecock, the badminton rackets, the motifs, racket club t-shirt, caps. Somebody wearing this cap might never, ever, ever play badminton, but they're influenced by this trend, right? Okay. Rest stops. Let's have a look at this. This year, people would plan trips to take it extra slow and help them to catch up on some solid shut-eye. Gen Z and millennials will retreat to laid-back locales that offer the opposite of a jam-packed itinerary. Fewer nights out on the town. I'm feeling that. More lazy mornings in bed. In 2024, there'll be no shame in your slowcation game. Okay, so we've had the era of cramming everything in and going on all these amazing adventures and doing as much as you can. And actually now the trend is leaning more towards a slower lifestyle, solo traveling, slow life, digital detox, ASMR sleep, staycation hotel. Again, these search terms all span totally different things, even though on the surface, this is a travel trend. For me, straight away, there is so many opportunities there for things to sell. So, slippers. The skincare routines ties into this again, right? Slow life with your skincare routine. So for me, if I was a skincare brand, I would be creating content around how to take things slowly and spend more time with yourself and and enjoying the slow life whilst using my skincare products, right? You've got kind of probably bedding and decor trends. You've got kind of the aesthetic of travel here, gratitude journaling, so grounding journaling, grounding affirmations, quotes again, bedroom wall art that is very sort of fluffy, like with these clouds and stuff. So potentially cloud prints themselves, but also like this kind of really fluffy, light coloured, neutral tones. Sort of simple and calm theme. Again, journaling, so massive digital products opportunity here. So loads you could create around journaling. Sleep masks. Again, wall art, you can rest now. So again, as a wall art creator, I would be looking at these trends and thinking, what is that customer mindset? Right, this is all around taking things slow, rest, relaxation and that kind of thing. So how does that tie into my products? Can I create quotes around that? Can I create designs like the fluffy clouds that tie into that and kind of emulate that feeling, right? So reading and books, kind of poetry would be a big one here as well. A lot of mindfulness, candles, perfect one, candles, incense, burners, that kind of thing. Your bath tray aesthetic there. And again, this is something that would tie in really, really nicely with the kind of content you're creating. So the sort of photography and the way that people are going to consume this, right? I like that trend, something that I will definitely be following. Okay, let's grab this one down here. Eclectic Grandpa. In 2024, Gen Z and boomers will embrace grandpa core and bring eccentric and expressive elements for their ages to the wardrobes. Think retro streetwear, chic cardigans and customised clothing, because the coastal grandma aesthetic is so last year. So last year was grandma, this year is grandpa. So we've got grandpa core increasing here, retro streetwear, granddad style, eclectic clothing, customised denim jacket. So again, this is a fashion trend, but let's have a look at how this can then span into other areas as well. So again, I'm seeing like patterns for things like journal covers, for things like planner covers and that kind of thing. Colours, I'm getting sort of these kind of neutral granddad colours coming through. Things like this checkerboard print here and the sort of you can see the print down here, the sort of tartan prints, bringing those into home decor and wall art and design in that way. And any fashion trend is always going to span into home decor as well. So even though there's not that much here, that I can see things like lampshades and rugs and throws and cushions and all of that kind of good stuff as well. Kitchens. They say the party always moves to the kitchen, but sometimes the kitchen is the party. This year, Gen X and boomers will spruce up their cooking areas with thrifted finds, vintage appliances and jarring pops of paint. No minimalist aesthetic is safe. So home decor trend on the surface, let's dive into it. So we're getting colours here, so retro pink kitchens, green kitchens, kitsch kitchens, eccentric, eclectic. So this is going to come through in home decor especially, but it will also come through in things like fashion, in things like, and again, it kind of ties into the granddad fashion aesthetic. Like this is kind of like granny-ish, right? so it ties into that. A lot of this is giving me kind of 70s vibes and 70s aesthetic. I'm seeing things here that you kind of you associate with sort of 70s decor. You've got your kind of checkerboard prints and that sort of thing. Straight away I'm thinking, lobster tea towel, I'm seeing lobster prints, I'm seeing lobster journals, I'm seeing lobster everything. It's coming through in wall art here, so this is the kind of popular sort of food motif style that I was talking about before, and this is coming through in the type of design for this trend. So it's kind of thinking about, you've got a lobster again here, so there's definitely a bit of a trend there going on. So I would be taking things like colours, I would be taking things like styles, I would be taking things like design styles, illustration styles, sort of that looser kind of, looser design sort of thing than the sort of stricter kind of illustrations of past. This kind of childlike design coming through here, which will tie into this trend really well. We've got lobsters again. Lobsters clearly something that we want to watch out for this year. We've got lemons coming through, so I love these candles. I absolutely love these shapes candles that have been trending last year. So I actually did an audit with somebody who was selling candles and was selling like dog candles, and this sort of trend in itself is just so unique. And so then you've got that coming through again here. So it's that kitchen aesthetic with these candles there. And again, it's the kind of thing that will tie into all sorts. It will tie into all art, the designs, the colours, the styles, right? Thinking about if somebody is decorating their kitchen and you sell wall art and prints, how can you create a range that sort of ties into this style? Okie doke. We're nearly there with these trends now. Aqua texture. It's time to trade up the fishbowl this year. Gen X and millennials will become undersea gardeners and commit to small aquarium designs over the top turtle terrariums. In 2024, aquatic architecture will be the hot new way to style at home. Your guppies will be living large. So it's fish and aquatic life. Aquariums, turtle terrariums, fish bowls, fish tanks, and bioactive vivariums. Now, again, straight away, I am seeing fish motifs. Before we've even clicked into this trend, I'm envisaging fish motifs. I'm envisaging turtle motifs. I'm envisaging these greens and sort of orange and sort of really earthy colours. I am envisaging this in t-shirts, in planners, in prints, in home decor, in fashion, everything, right? So as much as this is a lifestyle thing, again, I'm very much seeing this straight away there, wall art print, right? Again, photography print, illustrations of fish, right? Again, because this is mainly, so this is generally a trend for a very specific trend around like fish tanks, but I'm seeing the sort of the feeling, the look, the style, the moss, the aquatic sort of plants, the fish, all of that kind of stuff in designs in lots and lots of different spaces as well. All right, we're very nearly there. Let's have a look at hot metals. Cool silver tones and bold chrome are resonating right now. Melty metallics will make their way into the mainstream in 2024 as people trade in their trusty neutrals for something a bit more hardcore. Gen Z and millennials are driving this heavy metal aesthetic. So it is, your jewellery and your home decor straight away here, but we've got it coming through in nail art, necklaces, corsets, aluminium, home decor and furniture. So again, it is very much a trend that is spanning everywhere. We've got it in fashion, we've got it in home decor, we've got it in beauty, we have got it in fashion again, in jewellery, in accessories, in wall art, right? So this is obviously like metal artwork, but there is definitely ways you could emulate that in prints, by using, by using foils, by using sort of just silver and shadow effects in printed and printable wall art. It's coming through everywhere. So it's silver, basically, it's silver and metallic. So thinking about how that can tie into all of the trends, mirrored trends. So here, this doesn't tie into that trend whatsoever. There is no silver and metallic here, but it is basically candles and perfume shot on mirrors that ties into that sort of reflective silver theme, right? This right here is absolutely categorically not a trending product. It is not something brand new and made for this design. It's from Wayfair, and it is very much the TV stand that every single home has had at one point, right? Most people have had this glass and metal TV cabinet at some point, and that is very much just tying into this trend now because it's the silver and the glass and the reflectiveness, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't necessarily have to create new products. It is more just around bringing those things into a little bit more of a modern trend by maybe framing them a little bit differently, right? So I think that one's self-explanatory. Okay, groovy nuptials. I love this one. So 70s inspired weddings will make a serious comeback. Disco decor, hippie hen dos, boomers and millennials are behind this retro inspired return to the dance floor to let you down your feathered hairstyle and say I groove. So disco decor and hippie hen dos straight away. It's their own two themes there. So disco theme, hippie theme for your hen do games, for your wedding day games, wedding signage. So that's just kind of two elements to this for your planners and things like that. Retro in terms of fonts across any wedding stationery, in terms of colours I'm seeing, in terms of the fashion, the dresses, the outfits, wedding guest outfits, jewellery, accessories, the decor, the theme itself. So, straight away, this is not necessarily a new trending image for 2024. This is very much the colour pop trend and the burnt orange and bright colours that was trending a couple of years back, right? It's coming back round again under the 70s, guys, okay? Again, these are not 70s retro dresses specifically created for weddings, but they tie in perfectly to this trend. So let's have a look. So I'd be seeing this in everything again. Disco ball is massive. It was massive in 2023 across loads of stuff. So again, this is specifically a wedding trend, but there is no reason that this won't span into things like baby showers, birthdays, anniversary parties, bridal showers. What else do people do? Engagement parties, any kind of event, kids' birthday parties, that kind of thing. If it is a trending theme for weddings, it will be a trending theme for a lot of other things, right? Even decor, right? Home decor, wall art prints, that kind of thing, right? Straight away there, disco this way. This isn't a wedding product, this is a home decor product, right? Disco ball cups. So like I said, disco balls have been huge last year. So, and then this kind of font, this 70s style font. So anything with fonts on, I would be taking inspiration from the fonts and colours here. Anything that you put text on within your business, taking inspiration from this trend for that in their own special designs as well. Colours, the bold colours. You've got this metallic trend coming through in this as well. And again here, and almost like the jellyfish trend with the ruffles there. So again, you can see how trends transgress each other. The jellyfish trend again here. The metallics trend, the disco balls and fringe trend. So it all ladders up to it and kind of crosses into each other, right? You've got this coming through in fashion, in accessories, in beauty, the blue metallic makeup trends, that kind of thing. So anything that you create can be inspired by this 70s trend, this 70s aesthetic, and also that granddad feel, that kitchens feel. It's all looking back to the past. It's all looking at 70s style, that kind of thing. So 70s, just think 70s in anything that you do this year, and you're probably going to come across a winner somewhere within your business, right? This is the Pampas theme. This has been a huge wedding trend for many years now, but it's now sitting under the 70s theme as well. So again, you don't have to reinvent things. You don't have to go out there and go 70s themed, wall art, whatever it means, 70s themed wedding invitations, because actually just by having invitations that sit under this style, you're already part of that trend as well, right? People aren't necessarily searching for 70s themed plates, right? They might be, but they might be searching for other things as well. And this is bringing that kind of cowboy, western, modern sort of theme in again here. Okay, I think we're on to the last couple now. So, Tropic Like It's Hot. Let's have a look at this. It's time to get lost at sea. Your favourite foods, home decor trends and fashion finds will get the tropical treatment. Boomers and Gen Z are driving this escapist aesthetic, complete with hibiscus prints, tasty mocktails and hot pink. Bring on the sunscreen and sense of nostalgia. Mocktails, coconut aesthetic, so coconuts for another one. Tropical chic decor, Hawaiian tray baked chicken, and crushed pineapple upside down cake. So that crushed pineapple upside down cake, 70s dessert, right? So it's all tying into each other again. So let's have a look at this trend. This is one I think I'm going to like as well. So we've got it in home decor, we've got it in this kind of tropical bamboo and sort of print. We have got it in, what's this, the tablecloth, the coral reef plates here, in prints, in designs. So again, I'm seeing it in wall art, in journals, in all of that digital products that you create in terms of designs, phone cases, this coral motif. And this is very much inspired by the Matisse. In fact, you can see it here as well, Matisse print. So this is tying in the true trends as well. So Matisse's design has been trending for a really long time now. It's not going away. It's just kind of evolving, and this coral print's coming through. You've got the fish motifs that we were saying about in the aquariums trend. Again, this is coming in this trend here. Coral, what's it called? Candle holders, actual coral ornaments, but it's faux coral, so interesting as well. Starfish, sea creatures, palm trees. These cute kind of straws with the motifs on again. So then again, wall art. This ties into prints and backgrounds and sort of that tropical design. So there's no theme products, that I don't think this theme could tie into, and the lobster's coming through again here as well. So we can see as we get to the end of this trend, it's very interesting. There is a lot of crossover. Okay. Last one, is it? No, last couple. We've done this one, we've done this one, we've done this one. Inch stones. In 2024, teeny triumphs will make the heart grow fonder as parents sprinkle party vibes on their kids' not-so-grand moments. Baby's first tooth, posse training success, and extra sprinkles. So end of year school party ideas. So obviously that's quite far in the future, but it's one to start thinking about quite soon. Monthly milestones, potty training rewards, baby naming ceremony, my first tooth party. So I'm seeing loads of stuff here around party principles, party like physical products, handmade products. I'm seeing loads around digital products here, in terms of like milestone trackers, in terms of signs, my first whatever it might be. People love to give their kid a sign to hold up and while they're doing whatever it is for the first time. It's kind of documenting those milestones, right? And principle and physical products here would be massive. Party products, party supplies. Let's have a look at what else is in the trend. It's that bright bold colours again as well. So it's basically those small milestones. It's not just the first steps, but it's the other things like they say, losing teeth, cakes, 1-month-old cake. So what have we got here? 1 year of loving you. So it's kind of first birthday. So I can see principal products around this. It's all around kind of, a lot of this is around the first birthday by lots of things, but you've got, the milestone cards, little sort of trinkety things. So ceramics here, party stuff. You've got the sort of mats that they're propped on to show the age. Again, so these are cute with the this is the coffee board aesthetic, right? Again, coffee shop boards, but there's no reason these couldn't be like digital products as well. So the different sort of milestones there. Trinket dish from the Tooth Fairy, which is a cute idea. What are these tins? So again, those mini milestones found their toes for the first time, right? I don't know. There's probably ways that they could be little cards, they could be prints, they could be whatever it might be. Printables, little printable cards again. Okay. Last couple. Jazz revival. In 2024, millennials and Gen Z will trade in their electronic beats for something more retro, vintage jazz. This trend extends beyond funk playlists. Jazz-inspired outfits, dimly lit venues, and lo-fi looks are all on the rise. Take notes as the younger generation looks to the past to make this sexy aesthetic their own, because everything old really is new again. So jazz aesthetic clothing, jazz bar outfit, jazz funk, piano jazz, jazz club outfits. Again, straight away, I am thinking wall art prints. I am thinking decor. I am thinking clothes. I'm thinking beauty and fashion trends and accessories trends and home decor trends. There's so much here, right? So straight away, home decor, it's this kind of and again, it's retro. It's all the retro stuff, right? It's coming through again. If it's nice, play it twice. So the vinyl revival, huge huge opportunity there around vinyl, around, you know, records, around wall art for that, around gifts for people who, you know, for collectors, that kind of thing. If more people are getting into it, then it's going to rise in popularity in terms of gifting. Wall art again, candles, home decor, wall art again, styling, candles, throws, fashion, the fringing coming through again there, right? Candles, you know, neons. I like this, that now playing. So a friend of mine makes record holders, record stands, so just even things like this. So, you know, could you sell decals that people can put on whatever it is, whatever record they're playing? If you are a woodworker, you could create stands for vinyl records. You could create like the now playing kind of motif. It could be a print, right? It could be now playing, and it could be, you know, insert your favorite song here or your favorite record here, and it can be gifting again as a print, as a digital download, as whatever it might be. Vintage photography, vintage illustrations. Loads of opportunity there again, and it's coming through in kind of those shapes, those round shapes as well. Cool, I like that one. Okay, last one, bow stacking. In 2024, we'll take about bow. Millennials and Gen Z will embrace the art of bow stacking as they adorn their outfits, shoes, hair, and jewellery with this oh so delicate detail. Bow large or bow small, next year brings bows for all. So it's bows, right? And again, straight away, it's a fashion and beauty trend and an accessories trend. Let's have a look. Because again, I can see it in wall art prints. I can see it in phone cases, in you know, in other things, candles. So bows are big. Mainly, this is going to be a fashion and accessories trend. But I think with everything I've said so far, you can probably understand how this ties in motifs, in illustrations, in styling. You know, styling a wedding menu with bows around the knives and forks, for example. So say you create a really minimalist wedding menu, doesn't have any bows on it, but you then have it photographed. I might be tempted to go, okay, I'm going to have all of my stationery photographed, and I'm going to have disco balls in the background, or I'm going to have, big bows on the knives and forks, or I'm going to have the sort of 70s coloured flowers in the background, right? So it ties into that trend. So loads of opportunity there as well. So that is all of Pinterest Predicts. I believe we've covered every single one now, I think. Yep. So hopefully that is helpful. That is a full rundown of what Pinterest is telling us is going to be trending in 2024. It is everything that you can take from that, from my sort of side of things, and from what I'm going to take from it. I would recommend having a look through these yourself, searching for them on Pinterest, searching for them on Etsy, seeing what comes up, and just really digging into what makes the most sense for you, okay?